Hello and welcome to your Daily Fix with me, Sean Paul Johnston, here at the Small Fry Unify Studio. Today we're catching up on the Sony PlayStation event, so it's PlayStation and PlayStation VR. But I'm just going to go over some of the stuff that they showed at their conference. There was a ton of games. Their big massive focus was on games this time. It was actually a little bit different from their previous conferences. Normally they'd come on and they'd tell you all about the sales and everything else and new hardware, blah blah blah. And then they show you some games, and it was normally pretty good. But this year, it just seemed like they came on, done a really quick announcement, said, we've got some loads of games, and went straight into the games. And in some ways it was cool, but it was kind of pointless because you could have just showed a video of that, you could have just pre-recorded that. It looked like the audience was actually a little bit bored, even though there were some cool announcements in there. I think they could have just made a bit more of a spectacle for it. So a little bit disappointed in that, in the fact that their actual event thing wasn't that spectacular. I think Microsoft's was more of an event, although I didn't like some of their stuff. It made sense. Sony could have just actually done an online thing, like a direct, and maybe that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to move towards what Nintendo's done with a digital event and make it like that. But they don't need the conference centre, the big centre thing, or the theatre. Let's jump straight into games though. So last night, the actual show was on at 2 AM here in the UK. I sat up and watched it, ended up getting to my bed at 5 o'clock in the morning after checking this stuff out. So I'll go through some of the big games, the main games for the PlayStation VR. I won't touch upon too many third-party multi-platform games. I was talking about the actual PlayStation only ones. So the actual games for the PlayStation 4 itself, one of the ones we got was Knack 2. Now, some of you guys might know Mark Cerny. He was the guy who's designed the PlayStation 4. He was also the developer of the first Knack game that was shown when the PlayStation 4 was announced. Well, they're making a sequel to that, so there's Knack 2. Looks like more of the same, looks beautiful, looks nice and everything. The little character, the little robot guy, he looks cool as well. Knack himself, he looks cool. So, you know, I don't think that got a massive response when it came out the first time. We'll see how it does the second time for Knack 2. We've got more information on Gran Turismo Sport. We've got shown some of that. I think we've all been expecting that anyway. That wasn't a big deal to me anyway. Matterfall by Housemarque. This looked quite cool. It looked like this is the same team that done Resogun, as far as I'm aware. I might be getting wrong with the team there, but I think that's the one that done Resogun on the PlayStation 4. And it's like a hectic, it's like almost like a Metroid-esque type side scroller, and the guy's shooting everywhere and jumping up things. It actually looked a bit overwhelming with the amount of things on the screen. It's like they've put everything in there and it's crazy hectic, but it looks cool. And I suppose if you're into that type of game, then maybe you'll love it. It's like, reminds me of kind of old top-down shooters, you know, like Gynog and stuff, but where there's millions of things going on the screen, you've got to try and avoid them. So if you're into that type of game, you'll probably love it. We've got more information on Days Gone. Now, Days Gone is the zombie type game. The trailer was about 7 minutes long. I sat and watched it. It was pretty cool. Reminds me of kind of Uncharted, the look of it, the styling of the visuals. And it looks like, yeah, the zombies are kind of like World War Z type zombies. They're big swarms. The cool thing about the zombie swarms now though was it's not like just one sort of kind of entity, although they all move together. They all look like little separate guys, so it was quite cool that they had that. It looked quite impressive. And the demo showed the guy walking through, I don't know what his name is, sorry, but he walks through and he's trying to find one of the bad guys or some guy, and he comes to the zombies and he has to try and hide them. He chucks a bomb, sets off a bomb, and it draws the zombies' attention, so any noise draws the attention. And the trailer showed you how you can set traps and distractions. To me, it's just kind of like Uncharted, very similar, but it's just with zombies. So it looks great and stuff like that. I'll be interested to see what it's like when it comes out. I like the setting of it and stuff, and yeah, looks good, nothing bad about it especially, so excited about that one. We also finally got more information on Detroit Become Human, by Quantic Dream. So if you know, they've done their other games that were well received, and this looks great. It looks great. It looks like the robots are kind of uprising against humans, so they're kind of taking control. Looks really interesting. Obviously, Quantic Dreams is well known for how they've got their branching storylines. I know Kat was really looking forward to this on Games Done Series 2, so be excited to see what that turns out like. I think I never actually played the original Quantic Dream games on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3, I think. But I think this is something I'll be interested in trying out, even if Cat plays it and I get to see what it's like. But yeah, I think their games have always been pretty good, so this is exciting. It's in a futuristic type setting, really cool. Now, probably the two biggest ones for the show this year were, first one was God of War. Now, we saw this last year, we saw the intro with Kratos and his son. We now have found out through some smart guys online who found some details of the game that it's his son is called Atreus, sorry. I was making sure I've got that right. He's called Atreus. It's probably like a Greek mythology type name. I thought it was Arteus, but Atreus. And apparently one of the guys who works in the game tweeted that out, so that was correct. So yeah, it looks like he's taking his son and he's teaching his son how to become this warrior. And in the trailer, he's talking about how not to let his heart get him, like, you know, to feel any remorse or any heartfelt emotions when he's killing these monsters and stuff. So it's interesting seeing from a Kratos's point of view and how he's kind of not got those emotions in there, and he was trying to train his son now, and there's the balance there. So it's maybe making Kratos a little bit more human. Game looks absolutely beautiful. It looks incredible. The stuff in it, there's like gigantic scope. It looks like it's also going to be coming out at the start of 2018, so that's cool. I thought it was going to get delayed until like the end of 2018, but it looks like we're getting it at the start. I think someone mentioned January 2018. If that's the case, then that's pretty cool because it's not even that far away. So quite excited about that one. They've got a different voice actor as well. Unfortunately, I don't have his name, but they've got a new voice actor for Kratos himself. His voice sounds badass. It's like really deep and anyway, really cool. And then the other big one was Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man. So yeah, this kind of reminded me of the Arkham series, the fighting mechanics and the way it's done look like kind of that style with the fighting, and the open world looked really nice. I thought the graphics looked spectacular, and I liked this kind of way how Spider-Man, unlike some other heroes or other superheroes, you know, he's trying to save them and stuff, and there's a bit where he chucks the guy out the helicopter, but then he swings around and grabs him with his web and puts him back up. So I quite like that. It's quite cool how you've got those choices to make, I presume, in the game. Looks great, looks fantastic, and I think it's one of these ones that, you know, unless you get your hands on it, it'll be difficult to say how good it's really going to be. Only thing I'm a little bit worried by is that it might be a little bit too much like the Batman Arkham series games, although it looks like a much more vibrant, much more brighter, humorous type of game, so looks quite cool. There was some, look like quick timer events where he was running up the crane. Hopefully they're not too much in the game, they're just here and there. That was nice. Now, moving on to PlayStation VR, just to let you know that PlayStation VR Frank, if you've watched Games Lounge Series 3, Episodes 1, 2 and 3, you'll know Frank's now on board with the show. He does the news section at the start, but he's also got his own channel, PlayStation VR Frank, where he covers all things on PlayStation VR, obviously. He's one of the top channels for that on YouTube, so if you're wanting PlayStation VR specific content, he's a great channel to check out to get all that info. I will touch upon some of the ones briefly here that were announced, and I'm sure he's probably delighted by this as well. Hidden Agenda. This wasn't a PlayStation VR game, but it's a game where it's kind of like a social type game, and it looks like you're a cop and you're trying to solve these murders, and there's like a hidden agenda, obviously, that's the name of the game. And you use your mobile phones, and you can do it with multiple people on their mobile phones, and you make decisions. So if you know Supermassive Games, they're the ones that created Until Dawn, but it's the same sort of kind of engine, that same sort of kind of look, but now you're all making the decisions, so joining in together. Now, I think for a party type game, it might work quite well. They showed another game that on that Playlink, it's called, the actual service thing is called Playlink. They showed another game, it looked quite cool. For a party environment, I just don't know, it's like, that's one of these kind of games where if you just want to play a game, it's not going to work. But if you're in a party theme, it'll work really well. If you get sort of that's part of your main theme, you know, say, we're going to have a party and this is going to be the theme, we're going to play this and we're going to solve a murder or something. I don't know if that's maybe a bit dark for that type of game, but the other game was quite cool. But anyway, Supermassive Games, they've basically got a couple of PlayStation VR games. The first one is The Inpatient. Don't really know much about it. It looks like you're in some sort of kind of asylum, or you're some sort of kind of mental patient, and the guys question you or doing tests on you. Probably going to have to look into more of this. It looks, again, it's using their engine. It looks great visually. So it'll be interesting to see what I've done. The fact that they've got 3 games on the go at the same time, though, worries me a little bit that maybe they're going to dilute the quality of those games. So their other game that they mentioned was Bravo Team. This looks like an online kind of co-op type shooter in VR. So imagine something like Counter-Strike, but you're in VR. So that could be quite cool. You know, I think Counter-Strike in VR, people have been doing tests and trying things out with that. Looks cool. I don't know if maybe it's not that good for like competitive stuff, but for just a cool, sort of enjoyable experience, it might be really good. The other one was StarChild. Now, it kind of looks like a total rip-off of Metroid, but without Samus Aran. It had the same sort of kind of ship, even the ship looked similar. Ship landing, all that sort of kind of look, and then the character gets out, and the character just looked really floaty and a bit sort of crap compared to the rest of the stuff. The ship looked amazing, the environments looked quite cool, Metroidvania type levels. So it'll be interesting because, you know, if they've got all that other stuff looking great, but then the character's too floaty and it's got a crap storyline, it may just be a boring game. But it's in VR. I don't know why it's in VR. It's a side-scroller type game, so maybe it's just for the visual thing where you can look around, maybe they'll have some puzzles. That may be quite cool. It's good to see these games coming to PlayStation VR, knowing that you're not just getting cut off, there is games coming. 3 more, or 4 more in fact. The other one was Moss. This was by Polyarc. And it looks like Edward Little, but it's a medieval sort of type thing, so a little mouse. And it looks like he's got a little arm thing for his sword, and I don't know if it does anything specifically, but he's going around and it shows you at the end of the trailer there's a big giant snake, a cobra or something, and he's going to fight that. So I presume you're like this little adventure character and you go around and you fight like animals in that environment that you would as a mouse. That looks quite cool. Again, maybe it's kind of like Lucky's Tale, that kind of top-down view where you're moving around. If it's done like that, it might work quite well. Superhot. Now this is the game that's won multiple awards on Vive and Oculus Rift. It's now coming to the PlayStation VR. That's the one where it's like time stands still. When you move, time moves forward and back. So you can stay perfectly still, work out what you're going to do. As a bullet's coming towards you, you can decide where you're going to go. But you've got to plan, because as soon as you start moving, everything moves in the scene with you. So you've got to plan these things around. Looks really cool. I've not actually played it, but I've seen videos of it, I've watched videos of people playing it. Looks awesome. The fact that it's coming to PlayStation VR is a big win for PlayStation VR as well. So that's cool. And the 2 other ones, Skyrim is now coming to PlayStation VR. I watched the trailer video for it, and I'm not really sure how they're doing the movement, because in the trailer they've got both hands in the trailer and he's doing stuff with his shield and his weapon, but then he's moving. So I'm like, well, how's he moving? So unless you're using the Move controller, you know, like you've got the one with the little stick in it, the Move Plus or whatever it's called. So unless you're using your 2 Move controllers, the one with the analog stick and the other one, then I don't know how that's working. It might be that they've got controls if you push the up, down, left or right on the Move controller, maybe that works, or the triangle, square, X and I forgot what the other one is, the circle button, maybe they Move control or something. But yeah, it's interesting. If it's moving automatically, it kind of gives me the impression that maybe it's an on rails type experience. So maybe you're just walking through, or you're automatically going through the Skyrim levels, and then you've just got to do bits, sort of stop you in certain areas, you'll do something, and then it'll move on to the next bit, you'll do something, move you on. Interesting to see what's going to happen with that. I think people will love it because it's Skyrim. And then the other one, which was a bit of a weird one, Monster of the Deep, Final Fantasy 15. So Square Enix is bringing a VR experience from the Final Fantasy 15 game, and it looks like it's a fishing game. So you're fishing things, and you're bringing up the monsters and stuff in the water. Looks cool, looks visually appealing. I would like it if that was a bonus bit of content. I don't know if they've mentioned price, but if that was a freebie for if you bought the game, then that'd be cool. But if they're charging something like 20 quid or something like this, then that's ridiculous. It's just a daft fishing game. But again, these are all VR games. I think anyone who's got VR just wants content to know that they've had a good investment. So these are all good. It all depends on prices or how you're going to be able to access some of these VR games. Some of the bigger ones like Superhot and The Inpatient and StarChild and stuff, like, well, maybe no StarChild, but Moss and stuff, you know, these look like sort of more full-on kind of games, so maybe they're worth a little bit more. Now, there was also some download content shown for Horizon Zero Dawn called The Frozen Wilds. So it looks like there's more content coming for that, which is awesome. Again, set in the same world as Horizon Zero Dawn. Looks beautiful. It's set in the kind of an ice world, so a different area potentially. Looks nice. And Uncharted, we've got some more visual or a trailer for The Lost Legacy, a new trailer for that. Again, looks awesome. Uncharted, obviously, amazing game. So yeah, lots of content for the PlayStation 4, VR, and some download to go. Oh, by the way, I missed one, sorry. We also got remake is coming for Shadow of the Colossus. So if you played the original, you know that's obviously a long time ago. They've now made a new version. It's by a different team, but it's the team, sorry, I forgot the name. I think it's Japan Studio. They're the ones that are making this, and I think it's them that's making the remake. But it looks amazing. So if you loved the original game, now you can play it with sort of modern day visuals. It looks awesome. The scale of the Colossus or Colossi, they look amazing. So I never played the original one, and Connor played The Last Guardian, made by the same team originally, as far as I'm aware. I'm actually really interested in this because I never played the original, so maybe I'll get a chance to enjoy it. But yeah, that was the Sony PlayStation conference. You know, I think they done well. Like I said, it would have been nice if they had a bit more spectacle at the show. I think what they showed though was just games, and it was really good. They could have done with some more bigger new games that we didn't know about. It was all pretty much stuff we kind of knew and expected. So there wasn't many, you know, wow, it just looked cool. The stuff we knew about, like what you call it, God of War on the PlayStation VR, PlayStation. That looks awesome, you know. But I would have liked to have seen something brand new. I'm sure over the next few days we'll get more announcements. But let us know what you think was your favourite game of the show. Let us know in the comments what you liked, what you disliked about it. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow for my wrap up of the Nintendo event, which happened today as well. And again, thanks for watching.